Alright, what's up YouTube? So I'm gonna make a beat using just a toothpick, but I went ahead and recorded some stuff. So I'm gonna start off with a kick on this one. So I found this one. So go ahead and normalize it, cut itself, put it in stretch, shift it down 12 semitones. Gonna go ahead and trim that all the way. And go up to your pitch range and down that full octave. I'm gonna go ahead and EQ out all of the high end. Take one of these bands, make it really narrow. So this is about what you want right here. Now re-record that sound. So you're gonna see if it's looking a lot better. And then trim the start, trim also again, put it back into stretch, downshift, basically if doing the same thing. One octave down. Okay, get another EQ and do the same thing. Use a wave shaper. You can hear that staticky sound, just get an EQ on now. Put it slightly mono. Use a transient shaper. So now I'm hitting where I want, but you can tell it still needs some power. I'm going to use knock. Alright, so I'm going to also tune the kick, so I'm going to re-record that. Okay, so once you have your tuner on, just let it cycle through. So by that end, we're hitting right here at B, and this is where you're going to be able to set your root note. So we're hitting B, which is going to be this key. Right click. Now when you play it, now you're hitting C. I'm not going to get it perfect. It's good enough for me. I'll show you guys the original sound now. And here's after. Okay, so next I'm going to get my snare done. So I'm not going to overlink this part. I'm just going to go with this. Trim this. Multiply all the way. Down pitch. Down 12. Same as the kick. Let's just EQ. Wave shaper. Transient shaper again. Another EQ. And add knock. So after those effects, I came back here and I untrimmed it a little bit, so I gave it a little bit more length, and then played with the decay, just shortened that quite a bit. And so I'll show you guys the original sound. And then here's the final product. Okay, so next I'm going to do the hi-hat. Okay, so I'm just going to use this. It's a hi-hat, so you already know we don't really need anything in the low end. I'm going to go to transient shaper. I'm just going to go to the limiter and put the 4 drums preset. And that just gets me all the way up to 0. Then I drop it back down for the rest of the mixing. Okay, I've shortened that attack quite a bit too. I want this just a little bit softer. So for now, I'm going to call that good. So here's before. And here's after. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and make a bass. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this. This kind of looks like a little sine wave I could fuck with. Just go ahead and crossfade. So now it's going to loop in here. Go to stretch, cut itself, mono, porta. Once you do that, this is what you get. Down pitch this an octave. Route it to a track. That was probably the fastest I've ever done that, to be honest, but we have to get it to actually hit hard. First thing I'm going to do is get a limiter. Good enough. So I put it mono, and I'm just going to add distortion now, and I may end up taking it off, but we'll see. I'm just going to leave it at that since I don't really have too much context to go off of. Okay, so next I'm going to make a one shot. So same as usual, normalize, stretch, and cut. So I'm going to go over here. So I added ring modulation. So it adds a little bit of a texture. Solo out of band and find a frequency I like. Alright, you hear that? Okay, so Now we have that where we want it. A little bit of reverb. So I'm gonna go ahead and try putting a gate on here. Alright, so I forgot to hit record when I actually started making the melody. Only difference I did from earlier was I added on a bit crusher just to add some of the high end. So here's this so far. Okay, so I got really carried away. I ended up making my bass line, melody, and then a drum loop. Pretty much the whole fucking beat. So here's the drum loop. Like I said, I had to make some tweaks. Pretty much the only thing I did to each the kick, snare, and hi-hat is played with envelope. And so here's going to be the bass line. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys everything put together. And I'm also going to show you guys everything put together, but with no effects, so you guys can see the before and after of everything. If you guys like this type of stuff, feel free to check out my channel and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, have a good day.